everyone, I hope you're really well. Okay, let's just address the situation that's going on my face right now. It's officially autumn and I decided I would just do something completely not me. I'm not sure how I feel about it. My lips look like they're just kind of going right now. I just thought it was worth experimenting. It's autumn. I'm not sure if I'm going to go out like this. We'll see about that. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think it looks okay? I've gone a little bit stronger on the eyes as well, and I don't know. Makeup, it's all fun, isn't it? Anyway, hello, I hope you're all really well. Someone has literally just started to make a load of noise outside, so I'm hoping that's not picking up on camera, because yay, it always happens when I sit down to film. Just fabulous. It is officially autumn now, so I've got a nice snuggly kind of jumpery thing and a bit of a red lip going on, because why not? It's definitely feeling a lot cooler now, so that's really nice. I've been looking forward to it being a bit more chilly. Roll on winter, yay! So this is my best and worst of beauty for September. It's flown like every other month, particularly now the boy is back at preschool. It just, every day is really busy, but I'm back to a normal filming schedule now, generally speaking, which means it's much easier for me to film, which is fantastic. So thank you for surviving with me through the summer holidays. I think we can all give ourselves a bit of a pat on the back for that, because yeah. I've got a really nice selection of products this month that I have been using. Some I've been loving completely, utterly. Others whatever. So let's get to it. The first thing I want to talk to you about is this deodorant from Soft and Gentle, and it's their 0% Aluminium Care deodorant. I got this in a Latest in Beauty box, and I went for it because I needed a deodorant, and it was full size, I think. And I was pretty much swayed by the whole spiel of the fact that it's plant-based and it's supposed to be fabulous and look after you and keep you sweat-free and blah blah blah. It didn't really do it for me. It's okay, and I don't regard myself as being the world's stinkiest person, but the first few times I'd used this, I'd gone into the bathroom and sort of, I don't know, gone to do something with my hair, and I was just like, oh, what is that smell? And I've got to be honest, I kind of assumed it was my husband, because he has quite a physical job and he often comes home from work a bit stinky. But I was horrified to realise it was actually me, and that very rarely happens. So, I'm sorry, Soft and Gentle as this product may be, I don't want to be whiffy. Who wants to be whiffy? Not me. The next thing I've got here to talk about is a lip balm, and this is from Lanolips, and this is their 101 Ointment Multipurpose Balm. Now, I picked this up from Boots, I think it was. It sounded really nice. I like the packaging, it's quite cute. It's a very light pink colour, and there's a sheep here with lips quite similar to mine right now. That was completely unintentional. And I've been really enjoying using this. You get a decent amount in here, it's 9 grams, and like it says, it's a multi-purpose balm, so you can use it all sorts of places that you might have dry and chapped skin. But generally speaking, the place I like to use it is on my lips. I won't put any on now for you because I'll probably turn this into a massive mess. But what I like about it is quite a thick salve kind of texture. I'll just squeeze some out so you can see. But it's the kind of thing that if it gets warm, and I had this in my pocket one day and I took it out, the whole tube felt really warm and it just kind of shot out and was quite fluidy, whereas when it's cooler it's quite a thick balm. And it lasts for a really long time, but what I quite like, and you should be able to see that picking up, is it actually gives a really nice shine to your lips as well, which I think if you're doing a very natural, fresh-faced kind of look, a very natural minimal makeup, this is actually really nice just to give your lips a little bit of something extra instead of just using a normal lip balm, which may be slightly less obvious. This is actually quite shiny, but it looks really pretty on, so I've been really enjoying using that. The next thing I've got is another product from a Latest in Beauty box, and this is from Urban Vida, and it's their Rose and Botanics Reviving Hydrating Toner. This I really wasn't sure about when I first used it. It's incredibly strongly perfumed, so if strongly perfumed skincare products are not for you, then you're probably not going to like this. And it's obviously very rose scented, and I absolutely love rose, but I just found this quite overpowering, and I was a bit worried that perhaps it wasn't quite well suited for my skin type either. I think this is probably more meant for dry skin, but I've actually been really enjoying using it. I've only been using it in the evening, and what I've been doing is I've been doing my usual cleanse, and then I sit down, do a little bit of facial massage with some jojoba oil, and then I remove it with this. And it's surprising actually how much extra makeup I've been getting off, whereas normally I've been thinking my skin's quite clean, so that's a bit scary. Whether it's because I've been using more waterproof products, waterproof mascara, and some quite long wearing foundation as well, so whether that's got something to do with it and you have to work that bit harder to get it all off. It does leave a slight residue tackiness to the skin, which is why I haven't used it during the day, because my experience generally with toners like this are that they tend to make me a little bit too moisturised, but it's made me want to look into the rest of the range and maybe see what else there is, because I have actually really been enjoying using this. Talking about difficult to remove products, the next thing I've got to talk about is a mascara. It's technically two actually. I've got a regular mascara and then a waterproof top coat that I've been using as well. Now, just to talk about the mascara, I've actually had this mascara for quite some time. It was definitely a YouTube made me buy it when I was looking at maybe what drugstore mascaras to try. It's from 17 and it's their falsifeye HD. See what they did there? You get 9ml in here, and it's really quite nice. When I first used this, I was not very impressed at all. It didn't seem to do very much, but it was quite a good layering mascara. So I'd put this on initially to get some nice shape and definition to the lashes, and then I'd usually put quite a hefty waterproof mascara on top just to kind of get a little bit more oomph to the lashes. But actually now, because it's that bit older, I feel like the formula is actually working a bit better on its own. It's got a classic plastic bristle brush, so you do need to be really careful when you're using this, that if you go too close to your waterline, if you've ever poked yourself in the waterline with one of these, you'll know what I mean when it really hurts. And I have done that a few times with this when I'm in a bit of a hurry usually. But it's actually a really lovely mascara to give a really nice fluttery eye look, and you can either leave it to one coat just to look quite natural, or you can actually maybe put 2 coats on just to build it up a little bit more. It's not going to knock you out in terms of how your lashes look, and I do have it on my eyelashes today, but it does give you really nice separation and definition, which for me I actually really like from a mascara. However, I can't wear this on its own because it smudges really badly. So what I've been using this with, and sorry this is well loved, is this NYX Proof It waterproof top coat. Now when I first got this, it did start out as a clear kind of gel, but obviously the more you use it and the more it mixes with the mascara that you're using, it does start to go a lovely kind of grey colour. But it's lasted quite a while. It's not a very big tube. I believe this is full size. I picked it up from Boots quite a long time ago now, and I've been really enjoying using it, layering it with lots of mascaras that aren't waterproof, and it just helps to seal everything in and help prevent that smudging. Sometimes I do still smudge when I've used this, so it's not like a wow, this is amazing, you must get it for this purpose. But it's definitely worth a try because it's quite cheap, and it may just help if you've got a mascara that you absolutely love but it does smudge on you and you want to make it waterproof. It just helps seal everything in and prevent it from smudging too much. Next, I have a foundation for you, and this was a really, really pleasant surprise. It's a foundation that since I did my first impressions video on it, I've been using pretty much every day, other than the days that maybe I've been testing something new, but I've not got too much that I'm testing at the moment. But I've been really enjoying using it, and it's the one from L'Oreal, and it's their Infallible 24-hour matte, and I have this in number 11, which is vanilla. I really like this foundation. It's cheap, it's long wearing, it's mattifying, but in a comfortable way, not in a really drying, you look like a raisin kind of way. Do you know what I mean? Where it just kind of sinks into everything and accentuates any dryness. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I've actually really enjoyed using it. I've tried it with various different moisturisers underneath, various different primers underneath. I've also used different setting powders on the top, and it just is absolutely beautiful. I don't think you necessarily need a setting powder, but I do like to experiment a bit just to see what would happen if I used one, but it's absolutely lovely. They describe it as being medium in texture in terms of how it feels, offering high coverage with a matte finish. And I would definitely agree with all that. It feels very lightweight when you're wearing it. The coverage that it gives you is absolutely fantastic. When you put it on, your skin just feels like baby, silky smooth, soft, and you don't really feel like you do need a setting powder on top of it. It just feels absolutely lovely. If you haven't seen my first impressions review on the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation, which I very recently did, I definitely prefer this foundation to the Urban Decay one, and there's an enormous price difference between the two. I think this performs much better than the All Nighter one, and essentially they're offering the same kind of thing: long wearing, matte finish, good high level of coverage. And I think this is like $7.99, so if you've got similar skin to me in terms of needing quite a few things to cover up, you're quite oily, definitely check this out because I am super impressed with it. Next, I have a palette for you, and apologies, I'm not sure if you can actually get this one anymore, but I thought it was only fair to mention it because I have been using it quite a lot. I picked this up as part of my Sephora birthday order, and it's this one from Tarte, and it's their Empower Flower palette. The thing that I am quickly learning about Tarte products is they truly are highly pigmented, and you really only need a very small amount. I know it's probably obvious, but I've been experimenting with some older palettes of mine. I've got some beautiful Stila palettes, and those you kind of have to build up a little bit more. They're a little bit more subtle, whereas with the Tarte palettes, wow, just one little dip and you're good to go. So what you get in this palette is a really nice selection of colours. You've also got 3 blushes. I believe this one on the end is a blush. It's very bronzer looking, but it's actually got quite a high level of shimmer in it. So I personally wouldn't really want to use that as a bronzer, but I haven't really used it yet. I'm a bit scared of it, but I do quite like it. But these 2 blushes here are absolutely beautiful. Trustworthy and empowering. I've got Trustworthy on right now. In the palette, it does look like a very neutral colour, and I was a little bit nervous of that because I'm very much a kind of rosy cheek girl all the way. That's pretty much the only colours that I generally do. But it's actually really nice to use. One thing I love about Tarte products is they actually feel incredibly smooth and just gorgeous. They're really finely milled. You also get some really lovely shadows as well. Both of the rows of shadows you get are actually really versatile. You've got a really nice kind of natural looking colour palette here with like a yellow based transitional colour, beautiful shimmery gold, a really nice copper, and then a matte dark brown. And then on the bottom you get this really beautiful dusky kind of mauve purple colour. This colour here, it's somewhere between almost like a dusky rose and a purple, really pretty. This one here is a very light lilac, but which I wasn't sure about, but actually on the lid it looks okay. And then this colour down the end here is a very, very deep matte purple, and it's absolutely gorgeous, particularly for doing a liner in purple. Absolutely gorgeous. I did actually get a few palettes for my birthday. I got this one, I got an Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, and I also got another Tarte palette. And this one, as much as I loved it, kind of fell back a little bit whilst I was using the other ones. And it got to the point where I was like, no, I've got to pick this one up. I've bought it. I've got to give it a go. It does look gorgeous. And I've used this pretty much solidly throughout the whole month, just purely because I've been really enjoying quite a smoky purple eye, or quite a smoky kind of natural colour eye. And it's a combination of these ones that I've actually got on my eyes today. So lovely palette. Apologies, I'm not sure if you can get it anymore, but I think because of the fact that I do have a few Tarte products now, as a brand, I would definitely recommend them. I think the blushes are beautiful. I think the shadows are beautiful. You hardly need any of it, so although it's quite an expensive brand, I think it would probably last quite a long time. Okay, I've just got 2 products left and I kind of don't know which one to choose first to talk about. It's a bit like choosing between children. But we're going to go with this one first. This is the Emma Hardie Protect and Prime Skin Protecting Cream with added primer. Yes, I know this is a sample. I've already got through one sample already through the Feel Unique Pick and Mix service. I saw this, I thought it sounded nice, I like Emma Hardie products, and when I tried it, it blew me away. It's an amazing moisturiser, but it is expensive. So I wanted to make sure I really, really liked it before I kind of added it to my list of, I'd like to buy this someday. So I got another sample. You get 5 ml in here, so it's a pretty decent amount. And with the first Rippy Packet sample that I got, I should have folded it over or decanted it into another pot because I ended up wasting a ton of it because it all kind of congealed and went all disgusting on the top. I think with this one what I'll be doing is I'll be decanting it into a little pot and just seeing how long it lasts me, because you don't need very much, just a little tiny dot, and it sinks into the skin lovely. It gives you the most natural kind of glowy luminosity, healthy look to the skin. It's absolutely beautiful. And then anything you put over the top of that just immediately looks amazing. It's really blown my socks off that much. I'm so impressed with it. And the fact that you don't necessarily need a primer as well, I just think is a massive win. I feel like I've been trying to find my holy grail moisturiser for forever. I've tried so many samples, and all of them, apart from this one, have all been a little bit like, yeah, it's okay, but there's always been some kind of level of compromise somewhere where it's not really fulfilled everything I would want it to, until I found this. So I'm super excited about this moisturiser. I think it does potentially have holy grail status, but I will report back to you once I've used this one. I'm absolutely dying to open it and use it, but I'm using a different moisturiser at the moment, which is a really ridiculously expensive one. I've got a feeling it's like pushing £100. It's a travel size product that I got ages ago from Cult Beauty, and I hated the smell of it, but I'm trying to get through it and I'm trying to use it every day just before I make my mind up about it, and ultimately if it is worth the price tag before I open this one. But yeah, I absolutely love this moisturiser. I think it's fantastic. I just want to give massive thanks to Feel Unique and their pick and mix service for me to be able to try this, because there's no way I'd be springing to buy a bottle of this anytime soon because it's quite expensive. Unless of course I end up falling in love with it, and I think we're already there. So the last thing I've got to talk about is a primer, and this is one from Guerlain, and it's their Meteorites Pearls Light Diffusing Perfecting Primer. I have done a review video on this in terms of whether it's worth it because it's very expensive. I luckily managed to pick up a pretty much full size one from eBay that someone just, I don't know, didn't get on with, and they wanted to get rid of it, and I managed to pick it up for, I think it was under £20, so I still can't quite believe that, but thank you to the person that sold this, because I think they'd only used it once, maybe they just didn't get on with it, but oh, it's beautiful. I try not to use it every day because I kind of don't want to run out, but I do probably use it a good 3 or 4 times a week. It's one of these primers that you put it on and it pretty much instantly sinks into the skin and just gives you this most subtle, beautiful glow that's probably a bit more glowy than the Emma Hardie moisturiser I've just mentioned, but it's not to the point that people are going to kind of be looking at you and thinking that you've got sparkly stuff all over your face. In terms of its performance, I don't think it's fantastic. I do need to blot when I use this, and one of its claims is the fact that it's supposed to help mattify the skin. So if you have oily skin, I wouldn't go getting this based on the fact that you think your makeup is going to stay amazing all day, because I honestly don't think that's probably possible unless you're really putting something heavy duty on your skin, which is probably not healthy anyway. But in terms of a luxury product that feels really nice to use, it's very comfortable. The smell of this stuff is out of this world. It's the most beautiful sweet violet scent and I just absolutely love it. I think it's gorgeous. I think I probably would repurchase it just purely because I can't imagine life without this gorgeous face product. It is ridiculously expensive, so it would be a mega treat or a lovely present from someone, but it's just such a lovely primer, and that's not something that I very often say because I am very fussy when it comes to skincare products. But it's an absolute pleasure to use. You look in the mirror when you have used it and you think to yourself, my skin's looking really nice today, and it's thanks to this. And whenever I've done a foundation first impressions video, which I never use primer with, the next time I use it, I'll probably use this underneath because I know how this generally performs across most of the foundations that I've got, because I've generally found that this sits under most foundations really nicely and it just enhances them and makes them look even better. It's a beautiful product and I absolutely love using it. So I think that's everything covered. That's everything for the month of September. I hope you found this video enjoyable. I do love doing best and worst of beauty because it just gives me a chance to quickly go through the stuff that I've been using and perhaps just cement some of my feelings on things that I've already done first impressions of, like for example the L'Oreal matte foundation. As a first impression I was quite impressed, and having used it for the month I'm still really impressed. So I hope that it helps to be able to see some of my further thoughts on these products, whilst also perhaps introducing you to some stuff that I've not actually mentioned yet. Anyway, I hope you're all really well and I will see you again soon. Bye! I do tend to be on the paler end of the scale, but I purposefully went really pale with this because I knew that it oxidised, so in a way it's quite handy to be late to the party with reviews. Okay, so that's the two swatches side by side. There really isn't a lot in it. You can probably see on camera that this is definitely very pale in comparison, whereas this is definitely more pinky.